is like it was like 26 to 36 shots per stage. The way it was had 8 stages, and one it's like they're reading off every single one of mine. Alpha, 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 until the last target.
And then you woke up?
Charlie, Charlie. I said, well, shit, that's when I opened my eyes and I aimed.
You guys shoot blinded all the time now.
Yeah.
I'll bring you my bedroom blinders. How about that?
Bedroom blinders. That's called a light switch.
How you doing, Scotsman?
Hi, Scotsman. Put a hat on. Too much glare. And he's waiting. We've been live for over a minute, Scotsman. Are you going to talk?
Well, I guess we actually are live.
Yes, we are.
With that, I'll take one of the two. And being how your picture was on the cover there, Jamie, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Man, y'all do this to me when I ain't ready. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And to the republic for which it stands.
See, I mess it up every single time.
Well, that's because we purposely try and catch you off guard.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Good to see Edward Petty, Lakeview Outdoors, Papa's Place, Thorzak's out there. People starting to trickle in. Good to see it. It's been a couple of weeks. One technical malfunction after another. But glad to see people coming in. Hillbilly Up, how you doing tonight? Yeah, for some oddball reason, I just lost a window. It's welcome to the shit show. Gene, how the heck are you doing? And yep.
Yep, it's like watching one of them old Japanese kung fu movies, isn't it? Had a pretty good day. I didn't go to the shoot with Daniel today. There's two of us that go, and one absolutely did not want to go. So I just hung around the house and reloaded all day and packed stuff. Other than that, man, just got done having me some salmon patties and mashed potatoes. They're pretty good. I get that mule sauce from Sticker Mule, because that's where I get my stickers made. And that mule sauce is pretty good on salmon patties. Nice and yummy.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely phenomenal. My dinner was interrupted with somebody calling me, asking me why the bar was flooding downstairs. So I may or may not have plumbers in and out tonight. Or if I have to drop off abruptly, it's sorry, it is what it is.
Where'd the pipes break at?
At this point, they just don't know. Almost contemplating it somewhere between my place and the bar.
Okay.
Oh, Jamie, how's the world been treating you the past couple of weeks?
Man, work's rough. I've been like once a week. My boss comes in and we just have a chit chat kind of thing. He's a good dude. I love him. Hey Mario, Daniel would love him. He's a Christian dude, retired. Well, not retired Navy. He did Navy for I forget how many years, 7 or 8 years, and he was a chaplain's assistant. But he keeps telling me how he don't want me to retire. I told him, look, man, 4 years, July, I'm out of here. But he's a good dude, man, and it's nice that somebody wants you at work. You know, that like you actually they want you to hang around for a while. So that's a good thing. But spring break, we're going to Dead Zero to shoot, and I've been loading up some 6.5 Creedmoor, some 44 Special. I'm about to work on some 35 Remington because Chris from the 740 wants to shoot 35 Remington. I never thought anybody would actually would be interested in that, but it's a fun cartridge. And
I loved mine. I shot the heck out of it.
and one thing I did this past week that I really enjoyed was watching the professional amateur shoot a single action army. That was pretty cool.
How's the world treating you, Val?
What's that?
How's the world treating you?
Pretty crappy right now. Pretty crappy, but I'm a fighter, so I'm getting by. I'm getting through it. The season started. The shooting season started. Shot a match yesterday. Shot a match today. I shot it with a new gun. I posted a picture of that gun. Pretty happy with it. Shot great yesterday. Shot pretty crappy today. Well, it wasn't gun's fault. So yeah, overall, whatever life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade, right? Or you put them in your tequila.
Yep. That goes for everybody but Daniel. He just shoots A zones.
I wish. Yeah, I went out and shot my first USPSA today. Had 8 stages, and about halfway through, the sun came up and the weather got a little bit warmer, so my hands unfroze, and that's my excuse, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I think I shot about half of them where I feel okay, it was respectable, and the other half was fugly with a capital ugly. But had a good time, met some folks out there.
Yeah, okay, but did you have a good time doing it?
About 90%. In 90%, I had fun. The only time I didn't have fun was on that first stage. And the first stage was the hardest one they had set up. The targets were 30 yards out, and half of them were skinny steel. And I was the first shooter to shoot it. That's how the start of the morning. And the RO didn't care or not if I was a first time shooter. So I just told him, all right, I'm going to put 2 holes in every piece of cardboard and knock the steel down. After that, I'm done.
We call that
Right
a memory.
here, small as violin.
We call that a memory stage.
I forgot about it as soon as I done. About the 5th
Yep.
time he said procedural when he was, going over my score. It's like, yeah, whatever. That's in the books. That's done.
You got out from under your belt though.
Yeah,
You
I
got-
did
you
not
got
get
it.
I did not get DQ'd. No warnings on for anything. Just I had a foot fault on, I think it was like the second of the last stage, but the gravel was all kicked over the board, and so I didn't see no board, so my foot went over it, and so I could shoot that hard lean target. But
You
that
had
was
to have some really crappy guys in your squad. They first time shooter, old men like you, they wouldn't let you go last, or at least in the middle of the pack.
This was the guy. This was the RO that was the headed over our squad. The other guys, they didn't care. But first up,
There's-
first, and
There's one or two
Whatever.
ROs out there that are just, they're assholes.
Yeah, that's because we shot a match today. We had a couple of guys that were new. One of them said first time he shooting competition, but he was a state trooper actually, and he was definitely not a new shooter. He handled it really well. We kind of called him a sandbagger after the first stage, but we still wouldn't let him go first because even though he knows he handles the gun and all that, it's just because the way the stages are, And this was a fairly simple match today. Like if you never shot it, there's certain planning that you got to do and all that. And if you never did it, then it kind of screws you up.
Yeah. They had stages set up where you go through, put one shot per mandatory reload, then shoot back through it again, weak hand. And then stand on one leg, hop up and down, whistle Dixie.
As long as you had fun, man, that's what counts. That's what it's about. In the end product, it's not about the scores. It's not where you finish.
I want to see where I finished. I did one IDPA before, and I finished second to last.
I finished pretty crappy in an event. I finished mid-pack, but I still shot well.
Hold on a minute.
Go ahead, Jamie.
If they keep score, why do the scores not matter?
Of course, the scores matter. Scores always matter, but you have to understand there's no Cadillac parked by the gate for the winner. So the prize for the first place and the last place is exactly the same.
But I'm like, if they're keeping score, you're supposed to try to win, right?
Absolutely.
And
I'm trying to better my ranking, which my ranking means that I'm improving. So that's how I judge everything there. I don't judge where I finish at. I can finish second, third, fourth, fifth, and I'm cool with it. I can finish 22nd, and I'm fine with it.
The classifier.
It also depends where you're shooting with your competitions. If you're small club, and same people show up over and over and over, it's easy to become a king. Yeah. You come to a big club where people come from different clubs. Like the club I've been to today, the people came from PA, from Jersey, from New York, and there were a lot of good shooters over there. I had a horrible day. I had 6 mics. I don't think I had 6 mics entire last year. But usually when you look at the scores, and it always gives you percentage to the winner. And if you look at the scores, and let's say first 10 shooters are gonna be from 100 to 90%, they're gonna be within 10% of each other. That's how you know that you got a stiff competition. When you win the match and the next guy after you is 85% to you, that means like Saturday we shot Saturday. I was probably the youngest freaking guy there. I'm looking around and I said, "Holy shit, this crowd got old."
Well, there was over 80 shooters that showed up there today, and I tell you, there was some fast people. The classifier, the fastest guy finished the classifier in like 21 seconds. And that's one I actually did decent on. I did it in 29 seconds behind the guy that was in our group. He shot it in 21. And that was the alpha, Charlie.
Them Charlies hurt. Especially shooting minor.
Yep.
That's why I'm still waiting on my MPA to come in. Still not in yet.
Oh man, you gotta be drooling,
man.
Well, that's still absolutely phenomenal, Daniel. Out there doing it. It's I'm semi-jealous. Not only there just is nothing anywhere near around me other than corn. And so, I'm slightly jealous. I'm glad that you're out there and doing it. That's exciting, man.
Well, Alan, you seen it when you were here. After I'm on my feet about an hour or so when we were out shooting, I'd start doing that stumbling around stuff. Didn't have it. Right? All I have right now is just sore leg muscles.
You bring chair.
I brought a chair.
Yeah,
I brought a
sit
chair,
down.
but no, but the way I am with a medical condition I had that I just had that surgery for that to corrected it. Well, now I'm solid, I'm stable, and now it's just build up the muscle and the stamina.
I'm kind of late for that.
No, negative, Ghost Rider. It's never too late.
Val. Give him a little hope. Come on.
Well, I got a bunch of guns for sale. Anybody interested? I have to thin up my herd quite a bit because I don't have a place to keep it. So I was gonna sell most of the guns. Just keep a couple of competition toys. Get rid of everything else. So anybody out there looking for guns, look at my channel and hit me up.
Take a pic of the videos.
I'll give you
Yeah.
$1 per gun, and then we'll talk 6 months from now.
For $1, I can send you a picture of the gun.
Alan, he just ain't understand it. I would pay him $1 per gun.
I
That
mean,
way,
by the time
He
you
only
pay
s-
for the envelope and the stamp, I think he's coming out on a better deal still.
well,
Yeah. He's going to spend
he-
more on that.
nah, 6 months from now, he can give me $2 per gun to get him back. Once everything in the court's clear.
Nah, it doesn't matter. The guns will go for cash, and there's gonna be no courts.
Oh, that's
It's gonna be if there's gonna be courts, it's gonna take more than 6 months. Trust me. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Haven't even talked to lawyers yet. So
With the courts after talking to attorneys, mine took 1.5 years.
yeah, right now I got bigger fish to fry. I gotta get through this, get this fucking house sold, and figure out what's gonna happen with the rest of the project. But I have my road is officially on Google. So if you type in 10 Rodina Drive in Poland, New York, it shows up on GPS and it shows up on Google Maps. Even
Oh,
Google
brand new
Earth
road.
shows both houses here. And the
Damn,
road.
you somebody now. You're on Google.
Yeah, I'm a big shot now.
Dang.
I'm big. I made it to big leagues.
Hey, I looked at Google Earth the other day and actually seen my car in my driveway.
So we have had a ton and a half of stuff happening in the political arenas the past couple of weeks. Anybody been following much of everything that's been going on?
Yeah, here and there. What part of it are you talking about? The
Boy, there's a lot out there right now. One of the things just in the political arena that isn't getting much headwind and getting reported much on is the treaty that the Chinese were able to make with the Sunnis and the Shiites. Daniel, yeah, thoughts?
Well, I did a video a week ago about what's going on. An atheist country got two Muslim countries that see Muslim in two different ways and have been at war with each other for decades now. And now they've signed that treaty between them. They have political stuff now. What's next? Well, maybe something like because China and Russia is now using their dollars to buy. China's going to use China dollars to buy oil and natural gas and all that right from Russia. So how many other countries have bailed on the US dollar, the petrodollar? Get ready for hyperinflation. That's why I've been spending it as it's been coming in. I bought 12 cases of MREs, and I'm talking to a buddy tomorrow on getting a bunch of Weiss freeze-dried food. Folks, maybe you've been sitting in the pot as the heat's getting turned up and you don't realize what's going on around you. But the U.S. dollar crashes, you're looking at something worse than the Great Depression.
Yeah, US dollar's not gonna crash. Ain't gonna happen.
The petrodollar will never crash.
And the fact that now with those two aligned, they have a possibility of joining the whole communist
Axis of evil.
NATO, I call it.
The
and
two
fall
largest
right in
oil
line with
producers.
Russia and China and banding together.
Those are
That's a little scary. India and who else is in that?
Alan, our entire political climate is scary, from the local mayors all the way to the White House. And what every other country is doing, because our government has no backbone, none,
Yep, because they've been there too long.
and they're doing everything. And they're doing everything they can to keep one man out of it.
To put it in perspective, in New York City, okay, they'll let the real criminals go for pretty much any crime. Yet the security guard or will have somebody working in a garage in Manhattan confronted the guy that was apparently stealing stuff from the car. Guy pulled a gun on him, shot him. This guy managed to wrestle the gun from attacker, shoot the attacker. Yet he's being charged with attempted murder and illegal possession of the gun as well. Go figure.
Yeah,
And
not the attacker, not the robber.
Well, the robber's being charged too, and with a theft on top of it. But the guy that actually got attacked, he got charged with a criminal possession of the firearm and attempted murder because he was defending himself. And this is the same freaking prosecutors that let the freaking real criminals go, and now they're going after Trump.
Yeah. Hey, this is all by design. This stuff is not happening by accident. The far left want America to fall so the rest of the world can come up. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just have all your stuff in line.
All the main oil producing countries, Saudi Arabia, India, Iran, that is not looking good in any way, shape, or form. And now they have a possibility of completely banding together. Yeah.
Destroy the U.S. petrodollar, and the U.S. will go down in depression. They can beat the United States without firing a shot.
That's the only way they can do it.
Precisely. And they know it.
Walmart.
And they absolutely know it.
Yeah. Go to Walmart. Look at the stuff where it's made. Over 90% of your stuff in Walmart made in China.
90% of the garbage is made in China. Good stuff doesn't come from China.
Sad. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. Not mine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that Val touched on. They're going after Trump in New York. And the prosecutor, I saw him on the Today Show, and he said there's absolutely 0% chance that you're ever going to see Donald Trump in court. All right, so why we're bothering? We've reached a new low in this country when we indict a former president of the United States.
Yeah, and we indict him for in the state. They basically indict him for crime, alleged crime that's supposed to be federal crime, so it should be in a federal court. And the statute of limitation expired on that crime 2 years ago. So it's like, even if this would be real crime, it was like,
well, the federal already investigated it, and they said, no, there's nothing to prosecute on here. They already investigated it.
It's just grasping at straws to make media news. It's all a smoke show. That's all it is. It's a smoke show. They're going to go in there. The statute of limitations is up. It's already been turned down by feds. It's a bunch of bull crap. It's just all a smoke show. It's just to get your attention off of everything else.
He's the only president that was impeached twice. That was spied on by formal administration. His house got raided, and Fed sniffed his wife's freaking underwear, And now he's being indicted on some BS crime. Like you can't make this up. That's how much the establishment hates him, and he spent decades using the establishment to building his wealth, so he knows how it works. And now he exposing them all, and they hate him for it. And trust me, when he ran for the president, my former neighbor, where I used to have my private range, already at that point he was very good friends with his late brother Robert Trump. I mean, I'm talking like every Friday night dinners together and whatnot. So the family didn't want him to run for the president because it's just a shit show for everybody. They exposing their lives, and it's not worth it. There's no money in it for them, unlike real politicians. The only president that left the freaking White House poorer than when he went in.
He couldn't be bought.
And the fact that you're talking to Republicans that would not vote for him because they don't like him, they'd rather vote for Biden. I'm like, okay, you don't like him. I'm not saying he's a great person. He's not a great speaker or whatnot, but he's a good businessman, and that's what this country freaking needs. Somebody needs to run this as a business.
And he's got a big giant set of cojones.
Yeah.
The fact is the rest of the world is just walking all over Biden because they know they can. They would not. We wouldn't see this with a president that has a set of balls.
I think these other countries have just gotten the chance to actually use the people they've bought already.
That's a good point. I wish my representative would run for president. Y'all ever heard of Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah, I hear that name all the time.
That's my representative.
Isn't she the one that's a little hot looking?
Yeah, she's a little hot looking.
I like my rep to run.
Yeah, if I had my chance with her, it'd be the best 13 seconds of her life. I'll tell you what.
I could do better in 7.
I can name that tune in 2 notes.
Galkas has a he hit the nail on the head. The president's just the one part of our branches. If we don't make big changes in the Congress, nothing's ever gonna happen. That's the biggest problem. That's every country has the same problem. All these politicians they weasel their way in and they don't want to get out.
Well, apparently you don't actually have to be. You can be just unelected official and make laws in this state, which hopefully all of this comes to a head very, very shortly. We've seen some positives come out of the courts where judges are actually upholding the Constitution.
Then why don't these conservative judges and all of these conservatives in power, whatever you want to call them, right wing, conservatives, Republicans, why don't they step up and start filing charges and prosecuting the people that are available for prosecution? have done crimes, have posted things online, pictures, laptops, emails. Why don't these conservative judges step up and start filing charges on them, these prosecutors?
Or how about the politicians that go and write and pass these unconstitutional laws? They should have something right there. You write a unconstitutional law and you vote for it, passes, gets found to be unconstitutional. They should be kicked out of office and banned from ever running again with a hefty fine.
Yeah. Well, look at poor Epstein. Where's his list? Where's people? How come not no people being indicted on that? And there's no.
He committed.
There's
We
no.
know Trump's not on that list.
Yeah.
I was so glad when I didn't hear his name coming out. If he'd have been
Hey.
on that list, man, it'd have been all yeah.
Hey, listen, Epstein committed suicide.
Yeah. But you got to hand it to the Trump and his family. I mean, there's no real dirt on his family. The considering he's been divorced, maybe 3 times. You know, all the kids have like good lives, and you know none of that crack cocaine smoking shit like current freaking president's kid. Even Hillary commented Trump on his family. And Ivanka Trump, come on, she's hot. Hell, the freaking Trump's wife is hot. And she's my age.
And what on that?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay. I see. She's really good looking, and bald's not.
See, Daniel, we had posters of Farrah Fawcett in our rooms. He's got a poster of Ivanka Trump.
I don't have to be good looking. I'm charming. That's all I need to be. By the way, I got recognized today at the range. Some guy come over to me and goes, "Oh, how you like the Smith and Wesson?" I'm like, "What Smith and Wesson?" He goes, "The picture that you posted." Oh. Then another guy came over. "Oh, are you the bald and curious guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, okay. I thought I knew you." So I'm getting recognition.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm
Their
slowly
second
now.
question. Their second question too is, "Hey, how about that Daniel guy that keeps kicking your ass?"
Hey, nobody's asking that. Nobody even knows about Daniel guy. And Daniel guy never kicked my ass. In what world would you kick my ass? You can't
Chat.
even get that high.
The chat. Hey, the voice of the chat, the voice of the side chat has spoken.
That shit was rigged like 2020 election.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Jamie, Hot Pot, Al, somebody talk.
Yabba dabba doo.
See, the point I was trying to make earlier when I talked about indicting a former president is just in my lifetime. When I was in grade school, Watergate was going on, and Trigger Dick Nixon didn't get indicted, but the reason he didn't was because he appointed Gerald Ford president, and Ford pardoned him. He would have been indicted for sure, uh, and probably should have been.
That was one sneaky president.
Those records were unsealed and it came out. Those records were unsealed and they came out. The 4 out of the 5 guys that were caught in the Watergate hotel or whatever were CIA. And that goes back to Kennedy and the one president that's came in after Kennedy when he sat down with the CIA director and says, "I know who killed John." Yeah. That was all USA CIA stuff, but that didn't get in the news.
And why won't they release the paperwork on the Kennedy assassination?
They did. Oh
Not all of it, and they never will,
no,
Daniel.
they didn't. Right, you're right. You're right. They released all the stuff on the Nixon, but I mean, they tied it all the way back into the whole Kennedy thing.
I know somebody did spill the beans and said, yes, the CIA was involved in the Kennedy assassination.
Oh, don't say that out loud. Now we're gonna have a CIA crawling up our asses.
No, that stuff's it's out there.
Well, and in today's modern day, you've got the pipeline that was by order bombed by the CIA. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's been discovered. It's funny how all these conspiracy theories just keep ending up being true.
Hey,
But once again, it was another shady operation being handed down by the CIA.
Well, that was ordered by Biden because he went on. I mean, the video is on YouTube right now. You guys can look it up. Biden said if Russia goes into Ukraine, goodbye. There will be no pipeline.
We need less depressing topic. So I joined the gym. Started going to gym. Went 3 times last week. I went and did some cardio yesterday. And all I want to say is, God bless the guy that invented yoga pants, and also curse that guy too, because some women should not be wearing them.
Yeah, I always said,
and that always seems to be the woman in front of you doing deep bends while you're stuck on the lat board. It just doesn't work. It distracts you. You start lifting wrong.
I always
No,
said,
if it's the right person, it makes you add a couple pounds to the machine.
yoga pants are not fat girl stretch pants. I've said that from the beginning. Even if you look like you do yoga, have at it. Let's see it. Get it on. And I like those TikTok yoga pants. Have you seen those, the textured ones?
I wonder
watch
if I show
TikTok.
up in the yoga pants, how would they take it?
Make a video. You ain't got a hair on your butt unless you do.
They probably just figure you're transgender.
So, guns.
It shows you how old you are, because you're working out a little bit and thinking everything hurts. Like in your mind, you still think you're 25, and your body tells you, fuck no.
So, guns. Val, you've got a new gun. You posted a picture.
Yes.
Okay. So,
What
tell us about it. Tell us about it.
No, you gotta wait for the video. If I tell you now, then I got no content.
Well, how about the previous video?
Nobody look at Bolt. No, nobody on this chat's going to watch the video. So just tell us about it.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie did. He likes my single action.
Well, the guys at the range will watch it. At least 2 of them.
No, the single action is fun. That's definitely fun. You know, once situation kind of changes, and I know what the hell's going on in my life, I'm definitely gonna look into cowboy action. It's just it looks like a whole lot of fun, and you get to dress up like a cowboy. Like, come on, who never wanted to have a revolver and dress up like a cowboy?
See, I want a real horse to ride up there too. So.
Yeah, I tried that somewhere on a vacation. We rented 2 horses. That was way before we had kids, and the horses made it to the end of the property, and then they turned around and came back no matter what I did. So when I got back to the stables, I told her, "Can you clean the windshield and change the oil?" So me and horses don't really go together.
Well,
you're
and you probably don't look right. Well, you would never actually look like Putin if you rode up without a shirt. I'm just saying.
Come on, New York Wildcats, he's so skinny. If he turns sideways, he disappears. So he can definitely use some gym.
Well, he's so skinny because he works. You know.
No, he's so skinny because he's cheap. Fucking all he eats is a salad. He probably cuts the freaking grass outside for that salad.
He's doing all the physical work. He's up there on the roof putting shingles on, and swinging
So
the
do
head.
I.
Oh
So
no!
do I.
You go. Hey, you point. You go do that. You go do that.
That's not true. If you watch my last video, the remodeling I did 90% of the work myself. Literally.
I'm just busting your butt, man.
And the worst part is, you would talk to me about probably 20 years ago. Yeah, I was like that. It was more pointing out, and I was really working. But nowadays, it's harder and harder to find people to work. So you have the point doing the shit yourself.
COVID was replaced the gym. Nobody wanted to work. They had all the free money from the government. And the people that did worked for 2 days and then got just enough to buy drugs.
Yeah, I seen a sign the other day and I thought it was absolutely great. It said, "Now hiring people that will show up." I mean, that was like the only prerequisite to get a job at this place was to just fucking show up.
Yeah, we get that around here too. We got a Best One tire down the road that does truck tires. They do recapping, and their billboard sign said something like, "We can help you with your bills. Now hiring."
So wait a minute.
Yeah, I think
if they're gonna hire me, they're gonna pay my bills.
Kind of like my dad used to get a job, you bum.
That's right, Scottish American. That's it.
they're going to have so many people in the U.S. so used to it, they're going to go for the universal wage, where everybody just gets a check. Doesn't matter if they work or not.
Oh man,
No, that's a communist utopia. Basically, the way we were brought up in a socialist country, they've been pounding into our heads that socialism is a path to communism, where basically there's no money, everybody just takes whatever they need. I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking pipe dream.
Yeah. So, Jamie, you got any new guns?
not since I got the BRG Elite 9, which I'll be bringing this weekend. So, you guys want to help me do a video on it, Daniel?
A BRG, yeah. If it involves holding the camera or pulling the trigger, I'm there.
We'll set you up a nice video, Jamie. We'll do some action filming.
So I didn't get a new gun, but I did do something that I don't normally do. And so as of late, I've been carrying a 355 XL, a 365 XL, and I ended up putting a complete Armory Craft trigger, spring kit into it. And so when it comes to your actual carry pistol, do you have a tendency to make any modifications to it at all? And if they are, is it something that what would it be? What would it be? I found with this particular spring kit, it still doesn't it doesn't set the trigger forward or anything like that. It's still, I've got this big giant hole before it comes anywhere near the wall. It did drop the poundage just a little bit on the trigger pull, and it did eliminate a little bit of the over travel. But other than that, it's just a much better feeling trigger. So yeah, just curious, on your carry pistol, do you ever do modifications, and what are they?
It's a good question.
I did on my PO1, full trigger job, had night sights put on it, and I think the night sights was a mistake. I'm going to have a fiber optic put on it instead of the night sights. But, oh yeah, if it's your carry gun, there's only one reason to have it is to shoot and shoot accurately and keep them rounds off of innocent people. So anything you can do to make your gun better, which is going to improve your accuracy, go for it. The hell with the lawyers.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. People tell you not to do that because of lawyers.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot some
and I
innocent
won't carry
base
my
myself.
hand loads because of that. Just because, oh well, you created a more deadly round. What the fuck ever. No, I won't carry my hand loads because of that. But there's nothing that modifies, like in this spring pack that I put into this 365. There's nothing that makes the trigger easier to pull, other than about a half a pound of pull weight, or about a pound pull weight. But it still has the long take up on it. I have yet to think about, I've contemplated if I'm going to put a dual adjustable trigger in it and take out some of that extra pull and all that extra fluff in the beginning, like I did with my 320 AXGBS, to where there's no take up on that trigger at all. I have yet to decide if I'm going to carry that pistol, because there is absolutely no take up on that trigger at all. And that thing's pulling at 3 pounds.
Yeah, I wouldn't carry that. My carry gun, I did trigger work to it, spring kit to it. I did it to increase my accuracy. Like you said, it's, I don't want to hit somebody else. I want to hit my target if I need to. I don't want to have to do that, but if I do need to, I want to be proficient with it.
Buy the gun with a decent trigger to begin with. Why give lawyers an extra ammunition? I mean, given the fact, if you are in a self-defense shooting, first of all, if it's ruled as a good shoot, then it doesn't really matter if you did anything to your gun or not. But you also need to know this. There's another thing, that just because police gonna say that shooting was justified, it doesn't mean that you can't get sued in a civil court. And in the civil court, that's where something like this might come in. They might sue you because if you had the original trigger, you wouldn't kill the guy, you would just hurt him. or for example, some stupid shit like that. So now you got to argue with that. So probably not a bad idea just to get a gun that has a decent trigger and that has most of the stuff that you want right from the get-go, and just be proficient with it. Why give a prosecutor extra ammunition? Like I said, I don't think it would matter in the criminal case, because all boils down to if the shooting was justified or not. If it's justified, then it doesn't matter what you used. But if it comes to a civil court, I think things will be different.
And that's why I got my USCCA membership. They represent you in
Absolutely.
both.
100%. If you can have it, unfortunately, we don't have it in Europe. Another reason to get the hell out of here. If you can have it, for what, $300 a year, you can get the golden membership, or with the $2-3 million. Whatever. I mean, USCCA works firsthand. I know. I have a family member that was in the self-defense shooting and used USCCA. They work just like advertised.
I definitely need to do that.
I met
Yeah, I
one
mean,
guy at the shoot today. He's got a USCCA and another one. So he has two. So oh, and Columbus, Ohio, Scotsman. Have you heard? The municipality of Columbus, Ohio, has put on a ban for 30 round magazines. The guys from Columbus there were telling me about it.
In the what Columbus city limits?
Yeah. And the little burgs around whatever makes up Columbus, whatever's touching Columbus.
It's only the city of Columbus. Every
Yeah.
other area is zoned differently. It has their own names.
Even though the Supreme
Their
Court has
name,
already ruled that
and
that's
they're all
unconstitutional.
ordinances.
but that's now if you walk into Columbus with a 30 round magazine, is that what kind of crime is that? What, they're gonna fine you?
How
They can't
about
put you.
okay?
They can't put you in jail.
They they've got all these they can confiscate your magazines and do whatever else they want to do. But all these nationals that are happening at Cardinal this summer, how many people are flying into Columbus from around the world or around the U.S. and is and going to have large, the standard 30 round magazines?
I mean, I think the city itself kind of overstepping the boundaries, but
Oh, I agree. They are.
then there was
I
another city.
actually forgot. I did buy a new gun last week. And here it is.
Well, Daniel, as you're talking about people flying in, the
You
airport.
bought just that. What was it? 80%.
Oh yeah, you talk about people
Yeah,
flying in,
that's
Daniel. The airport's not in Columbus.
that's
It's in
that's my
Gahanna.
new gun that I picked up last week. It's a piece of folded metal with some holes in it.
That's
Does it have a
pretty.
Does it have a serial number?
Yes, it does.
Then you shouldn't be showing it on the YouTube then, because it's the actual gun. As far as the ATF is concerned, that's the actual gun.
I want to see you shoot it, Alan, like that.
Come on. Yeah, everybody flying into Columbus for the match, Daniel, is flying into Gahanna. They're not flying into Columbus.
You know,
They
So-
won't even have to touch Columbus city limits flying into Gahanna and going around the east side of it to get to Cardinal.
and the hotels are going to book. I'd be the ones that are dumb enough to book them in Columbus inside the city limits. They're at risk. It's just something that was very much up at the discussion at the shoot today.
Well,
Those guys from,
Columbus is a liberal shithole.
yeah. I never would have thought Columbus would be worse than Toledo or Cincinnati.
Oh, goodness.
Look what Atlanta's turned into. Let me tell you something about Atlanta. I'll get up every morning and I want to watch the weather. I just want the weather and I want to know what time it is. You can keep all your silly opinions to yourself because I'm really not interested. Every morning, as soon as I wake up, turn on the news, the first thing I hear about is how many people got shot, how many people got killed, and how many people got hauled to the hospital in an ambulance in Atlanta every single day. And they're all all of them's voting liberal. They want no guns down there. They're fighting the constitutional carry. Man, they talk about that like it. We're all got horns growing out of one side of our heads, but yet and still, there's 2 or 3 killings every single night. And what is burning me up about it is the fact that it's kids getting hit by stray rounds. That it's breaking my heart.
And how much of that is gang related?
How much do you think is gang related, Val?
I would say probably all of it, because it's the same thing going on in New York City and Chicago. 90% of all the crap is gang related.
I would say at least 90%. If I had to venture a guess, which I don't. So, so when they talk about gun laws, I don't want to hear about their gun laws. They got more than enough gun laws on the books now. Enforce what you got. Right, Scotsman. That's the only ones they report.
Did you see the video from, what was it, Portland? When a homeless guy got wasted right on the side of the road, and his attacker had like a jam. The gun was jamming, and he's like fiddling with the gun for probably 30, 40 seconds. And somebody like from the, I guess, store is recording the whole thing. Instead of running outside, whacking the guy over the head with something, because the guy's like fiddling with the gun. He can't get it loaded, and then he goes and just pops the guy, right? And this, whoever's doing it with the phone, they just calmly record the whole thing. What happened? I mean, people start fighting on the street, or somebody gets attacked. Back in the old days, somebody would step in. No. Nobody steps in anymore. Let's everybody make sure we got the phones up and we get the shit on TikTok and Instagram so we can be famous. Who gives a flying fuck? There's a lady bleeding on the goddamn street because she got kicked by the head because of a Gucci bag. Let's get that shit on the video.
Well,
Right.
and people don't even pull out their phones to call the cops.
Yep.
They pull out their phones to videotape it instead. There'll be 10 people standing around videotaping. Not a single one of them has even made an effort to contact law enforcement. Not that law enforcement's going to be able to stop it anyway.
Not in
Law
time
enforcement.
to prevent the damage being done.
Law enforcement is proactive, not reactive.
No, they're post-active.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. They're post-active.
Yeah.
Their job is to clean up the mess after it's over with, it seems like. I mean, I don't want to badmouth law enforcement because I'm very pro law enforcement.
Even if law enforcement gets called, like they're going to be able to get there fast enough. It's just not feasible. It's there you can have cops stationed at every 3 blocks, and still law enforcement officer isn't going to be able to get there fast enough.
Not only that, but a lot of law enforcement gets burned up because they lock this guy up, and 4 hours later they're back on the street. So it's not really law enforcement. It's more the next stage, the prosecutors. They're not doing the jobs.
Well, it's no longer financially viable to keep them locked up, is why. It makes more sense to go ahead and let them go and let them get caught again so that they end up having to pay more in fines than it is to keep them incarcerated. It's just financially not viable to keep them locked up anymore, and so they don't.
Yeah, but when they're letting out really violent criminals for violent crimes, and he's out of jail in a matter of hours or days, and he goes and commits another violent crime, at that point something ain't right. I'd say the death penalty should be on the table in every state and enforce a lot more.
Well, back in the old West days, when if you killed somebody, you was going to hang. People at least thought about it a little bit before they went out and killed somebody.
Yep. Bring back public hangings. Things will change drastically.
And don't drag them out. Have them, hey, you're found guilty on Thursday evening, the hanging's Friday morning.
Let them hang up there for a while.
It's like the shark. They found out if they catch a shark in a net and let it die in the water, as long as that shark like stays floating in there, I don't know how big of an area or whatever, no shark will show up.
The old warning signal. Kind of
Firearm.
impaling heads along the walkway to going into a castle, you know? Warning.
Well, I think you're pushing it a little too far now. Now you got a whole post-apocalyptic scenario going on, or Dracula castle.
Nah, I just been watching a lot of them barbarian movies. Good old Vlad the Impaler. Watch your blood pressure there, Val.
I bought this. Ever had this?
Mm-mm.
No, haven't had that.
Yeah, so I bought it because it was reasonably priced and smells good, tastes good. And let me go check my blood pressure. You're right.
What could I do when he comes back that'll cause his blood pressure to start spiking again?
I'm not quitting drinking, that's for sure. And I told my doctor straight up, I ain't quitting drinking. You can forget about that. You know?
So I got to stress.
Quit smoking 17 years ago. I barely have any freaking sex. You know, I try to eat healthy and exercise. I'm not giving up drinking. The hell with that. Something needs to kill me.
Man's got his priorities in order, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Everybody in the side chat's waiting for me to fire you up, Val. I'm not. I don't want to do anything and degrade your health.
Woosah.
Yeah, we're about an hour into this. Scotsman's still having technical issues with his soundboard. Participants at the moment, Abigail's out there, Burnaby Sanchez, Firearms 101, Fuzz 48, Ozzy Osbourne, Sam of Anarchy, Steve's Woodworking, West Covina Dodge. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. And I mean, yeah, your diastolic ain't that great, but you know, could be better, could be worse. 129.
Yeah, I mean the bottom one is high. That's still, I need to work on that.
At least it's registering. When it just goes flatline, you're screwed.
See, I was talking about that earlier, Buzz. You think about all that the Clintons got away with, and nobody got indicted. Obama, we won't know for 100 years what all he did while he was in there. Yeah.
Yes, Abigail, that's correct.
Oh, there was some ruling from the Supreme Court or one of the courts about something about Obamacare was illegal. That was just out last week.
We knew that going into it.
Well, yeah, but the justices, the people in robes, have now ruled.
Woo woo. Who are they now?
Ooh.
In our government, who are they? They make rulings and the states flip them off. We don't care. Look at California. Look at New York. I mean, look at all these states and communities that it
Now
Although
your
I
cities.
am happy to see judges now stating that, hey, these gun registers where you can only have X, Y, or Z gun is anti-constitutional. I am glad to see that happening. California's Rouster being shot down by a judge is one thing.
well, California
If
has
they're
a
actually
backup.
going to ever become a free state, I doubt it. But it's a step in the right direction. But yeah, it's
Problem is, and I said it a million times, unless there's a major win in a common state like California and New York for the Second Amendment, not the whole going to change. Because right now, okay, they might shut down the roster in California, then the Newsom or whatever the hell his name is going to come up with some other bullshit. Just like they came up with this bullshit in New York. Yeah, everybody can get a permit to carry and all that, right? But now you got to have 16 hours of training, 2 hours online. It's going to cost you $600-700. On top of everything, what they did in Long Island is people were getting their training online on a range, the 2 hours, and a freaking Nassau County sheriff showed up, well, deputy showed up, and they locked them all up for illegal possession of the firearm or some crap like that in New York. Because technically, you still can't touch a handgun in New York until you have a pistol permit. So how are you supposed to get your training? Well, Nassau County had a workaround on that. In order to do that, you need a permit for the permit. So
Jeez.
it'll probably get thrown out of court, but it's just another shit show.
Now, Abigail's got an interesting comment up there about anyone who kills an attacker in self-defense shouldn't have to pay taxes for a year. Let's take that a little bit farther. If that attacker, and it's obviously, boom, they were in the wrong, the person that shot them should get a percentage on how much they saved the government on legal fees, and then how much they saved from not having to incarcerate that person for X amount of years. So they should get a tax credit.
Yeah, let's not push that because then we go into the whole purge scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah, now we're turning into a bounty hunting society. I know what's wrong with that, right? I mean, you get a bail bondsman to uh, get you out of jail. You don't show up for court. He sends somebody to get you and take you to jail. The fact that you don't want to go is irrelevant. Fuzzy Fork says shooting children should be a same day firing squad.
You just never know what's going on. My sister called me the other day, and her neighbor had been living there for quite some time, but they were kind of weird. They wouldn't. I tried to invite them over a couple of times, but they were living. His mother, and then shot himself. So sometimes you don't know what the hell's going on.
We practically never do, Val.
Yep. Abigail's got a good point.
See, that's my point. If there's a crime, I want to see the victim. Right?
Well, I had a sister-in-law that got big time into drugs, and I can show you the victims of that. The children, her kids.
Then you have a victim.
There's your victims.
What are you talking about, Fuzz? I didn't say there's anything wrong with a same-day firing squad for shooting the kid. Yeah, that's about what needs to happen, isn't it?
Let the parents and relatives be the firing squad. Scotsman agrees.
Oh yeah, Scott, 100%. If somebody hurts my kids, he's not going to jail. I might, but he's not going to jail. That's for sure. That is somebody knowingly hurts my kids. The hell is that? Now, my wife, there might be different scenario. He might be doing me a favor.
What are you saying, Val?
Not a damn thing. So Daniel, now that you shot the competition, you're gonna shoot more, or you're gonna give up?
No, I'm going to shoot a competition once a month. Next month, I'll probably shoot PCC, do a steel challenge. I'm taking this summer to get introduced to each one and what aspects they have, and see how it goes.
I think steel challenge is excellent entry into the shooting competition because there's minimal chance of breaking 180. There's almost no movement over there, and you're only shooting 5 pieces of steel. There's only 1 or 2 stages where you're moving from box A to box B. So I think it's really good entry. And if you're not comfortable shooting from the holster, you can you can choose a division where you're shooting without the holster, where you low ready, or you can shoot a rimfire division.
I was shooting the pistol today, and there was quite a few comments and compliments on my draw and how fast and accurate it was. I said, "Yeah, you got Bald and Curious to thank for that."
Yeah, I know. I think those guys were just being nice. They seen an old guy, they want to be nice.
So you might not be able to run, but daggone it, that's a fast draw.
I actually got a video coming up on that.
Pulling your shirt up one handed or two?
Yeah. No. I did some practice. I just got to dig out the footage and turn it into video. I had nothing to do, and I needed the content.
Oh. It took me a whole summer to get under 1 second draw. I mean, a whole second of shooting, just working on one or two shots at a time. Going through about 100 rounds on that, about once a day, if not once every other day, if not once a day.
That's kind of what the video is about. How the question is how important is a 1 second draw.
And now this year it's back to get an uncovered draw.
Even in the competition, you're not going to win or lose the match on a draw. Still challenge, maybe.
Yeah, it's too bad AllenBePro didn't show up earlier. They would have won that drawing instead, but I guess they didn't need all that extra powder and primers.
Well, those primers were already in the brass of their choice, isn't it? That way they don't have to pay hazmat.
Yeah, they were too. I mean, it's what happens when you don't show up on time.
Yeah,
How do
I'm
you
really
mix-
I'm really happy I won that package. So Alan, just send that my way. Thanks a lot, man. I greatly appreciate it. That was a great giveaway.
Yeah, and that was in 50 BMG, right?
Yes, 500 rounds.
Howdy, Insight.
500 rounds is not a lot.
It was free. It was a giveaway. I mean, hey, take what I can get. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Dang, got some royalty out there. Yeah, Stalker Tactical shit, man. I'm telling you, I've gotten a lot of stuff from them as of late. I really have.
Here's a question: who knows anything about campers?
Yeah. They suck nowadays the way they're built. If you don't stay on top of the roof, they're going to get a leak and rot right up on you.
So what to look for when buying a used one?
Water stains, bugs inside. Look underneath your couch and drawers around the table and see if there's any water damage on the particle board. But the first hint is when you first walk in, all the wood trim down around the bases, if it's like cracked and separating, that shows there is water damage going on because there's high moisture in there.
Probably easier to just bring a moisture meter.
If it's been sitting in, you just got to make sure that all your seals are good.
I think it's going to smell real musty too. I think that's going to be the first hint when you open the door. If you get smacked in the chops with some must smell.
Now, what's like a general maintenance with the camper? Let's say you want to live in it, asking for a friend.
Keeping the leaks off of it. Keep it from leaking water. That's the biggest thing. That's the number one. The other stuff, you can replace parts, whether your heat, your refrigerator, stuff like that. That you can do that easy, but it's just keeping on top of those seals around
So
your
what's the
windows and
general-
your roof.
Generally, what kind of heat it has? I mean, obviously it has AC, right? So it has a heat pump, it has an AC and a heat.
Propane.
Oh, propane heat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier to stick a freaking heat pump?
On a camper?
Yeah.
No. Because a heat pump, I mean, how heavy are those things? And how
How
bulky
heavy?
and big?
No,
Yeah, how bulky.
nowadays they're not that big.
And
I mean,
most
camper.
campgrounds are, camper. I mean, campgrounds, they're going to not all your campgrounds have electric hookups that will handle that heat pump.
Okay.
I mean, a propane heat.
Well, it's not gonna the heat pump it's not gonna draw more than your AC.
Now, what you do is get yourself one of those Dodge Pro Cargo vans, gut it, and turn it into a camper.
Nah,
Put a
that's too
couple
small.
Put a couple of solar panels up on the roof.
Nah, that's too small. I seen Rick. He just discovered his Mercedes. I mean, it's great, but it's not something you would live in. Not unless you're like really traveling or something. Then okay. But like live no.
In New
Well,
York,
if you're going to get one,
does have a good, make sure that it's not an old meth lab.
If you have
That's helpful.
if you got a spot to put it where you can go ahead and put a frame and a roof above it and just pull it underneath, that'll take care of a whole lot of water issues and leaking issues.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, that I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I can throw a tarp over it, and I can hook it up to a future septic, and I hook it up to a well. Even if I can't hook it up to the well, I can just put like a pump down the well and just pull water whenever I need it.
Right,
well,
right. As long as you park it down by the river, it'll be fine.
You know.
Get insurance.
I'm gonna
buy it. Insure it.
I'm gonna park it on the empty property over here.
Hey, buy it, and you can get insurance for it. So when you are getting near time when you're looking at moving out, fires happen.
Actually, call me crazy, but that's not what I plan on doing, because the whole idea is put it on the empty property once I gotta move out of here, and just live there while the house is being built. I might have a few weeks iffy while the foundation goes in, so I can put a septic tank in and backfill and everything, but should be doable. And once the house is sold, I want to move down south anyway. So I figure, what the hell? Throw all my shit in it, move down there. I don't have to be searching for the house. I can just park it at the campground until I figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. Get a job, get situated, and all that, and then go look for the house and everything. I mean, when I'm by myself, I don't need a lot.
Val,
Okay,
you can buy a brand new one on a 60-year note.
Oh, I'm not buying brand new. No, I'll buy a used one for $6-7 and be done with it.
Yeah, get that. I'd get that warranty and everything else with it too.
Yeah. I'm not spending money on a new one. The hell with that.
So, Scotsman, why was you down there with my wife in her camper and you're hitting your head and shit?
Oof.
Scotsman and I did an overnight down there in it once. But Val, okay, buy yourself a shipping container.
That's
Okay.
another thing. I'm actually buying that as well, because I have to put all the crap from the garage, the windows for the next house. I got to put all that in a shipping container as well.
Yeah. But buy yourself a shipping container, and on the inside of it, you can plumb it out, and you can can put heat and everything like that, and you can just put it on the back of a truck when you move, and it'll be a whole lot cheaper than a camper.
Nah, I actually looked in the campers. I can buy a decent one for under $10,000. I just need to know what to look for if there's an issue. If like the one I was looking at, the guy says, "Oh, there's axle leak and stuff." I was like, "That shit, I don't care. As long as I can bring it over here, I can fix that."
But do you think Ivanka Trump will come spend the night with you in a camper?
Who? No, she's not gonna spend it. She's not gonna spend the night with me, even if I live in the Taj Mahal. I'm pretty sure about that.
Hey, dream big, Val.
No, I'm like trying to live the minimalist lifestyle.
Shipping container. You can build it into a little mini house, and when you move, you can put it right on a trailer and on a truck behind a truck, and they take it out wherever you want it.
We got these cool little mini houses over here at the lake that they put up, and it's 2-story mini homes where they've got the bedroom in the upstairs of it and then living space in the bottom of it.
Yeah, go see how much they cost. I looked into that too.
You can pull them with a dually.
Yeah, go see how much they freaking cost.
Yeah, but they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool, but they're for the stupid liberal idiots that they wouldn't spend money they don't have.
Oh, that's what we do. We're Americans. We spend money we don't have for stuff we don't need to impress people we don't like.
What is a kid that says Insta parties? Sealed bag, I have to find a place to dispose. That wouldn't be really a problem, because I can get a porta potty over here if I have to, for the time being. Plus, once the house is framed, the plumber is gonna go in, and the house is gonna be up fast. I'm not that concerned with that. And like most of the days, I'm either working and over the weekends I'm shooting. So I don't really spend that much time inside the freaking house. other than when I'm chatting with you losers. Yeah, Steve, you can't just build small pole barn. Everything is pyramids and it's based on the bedrooms, blah blah blah. I don't need no permanent structure. I need something temporary, and I can hold it out here.
Are they
Fast,
gonna
fast food is a good idea.
are they gonna let you live in it since you're on Google now?
Oh, it's my property. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can kiss my ass.
In New York?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can put a camper on my property. It's not a permanent structure. If I build something, even if it doesn't have a foundation, just on the footings or something, they might consider even like a shed. They will consider that a permanent structure. But if it's on the wheels, I can hold it out of here. They can. There's not much they can do about it, and there's no ordinances in town or something for that. If it's my property, I can park it there. Could be different if it's for example, residential property and you want to park your excavator. So if the neighbor comes complaining, you might have an issue because now you're turning your residential property into sort of a commercial.
I'd look further into that because I know here in Ohio, you cannot park a camper on your property and live in it. No one can. You can't. No one else can. A friend of
State
mine.
law,
A friend of
or is
mine.
that just
A friend of mine's mom was living in. He pulled in a camper, put it on his property. His mom was staying in it, and before long, he was getting notices that this is not allowed. She cannot live there, and it's got to go.
I doubt that's a state law. That sounds like a local thing because
Yeah, and I don't think
all around me, because over on the farms and stuff, I mean, they got campers sit up there in the one big dairy farm. They've got quite a few number of campers on that farm. It's like a whole certain ethnicity village.
I'm not overly concerned about ordinances and whatnot because this will be a temporary situation. It's way in the back. Nobody can prove I'm living there. I'm just staying there here in Odessa. I'm not really that concerned with that stuff.
Just saying. I don't know how it is other places. I just know how it is in my area.
Not to mention this is private and whatnot. So nah, I'm not. I mean, local ordinances. I'm more concerned with the actual mechanical issues and whatnot, like what to know, what to deal with. You know, I mean, with a bit of luck, the house will be. Hopefully, won't sit as long as this one. It'll be done and gone before the major winter, but never know. I figure I'll ask the people that know something about campus, because I never had one, never slept in one. To be honest, I slept in RV once. That was about it.
Definitely need a better mattress. Those mattresses the campers come with suck.
Again, I'm not certain things as far as a comfort. I'm not too picky. Okay, I can sleep just about anywhere. I can eat just about anything.
I'm just sorry you have to go through all this. I am.
Hey, you gotta look at it from the different perspective. It's a new experience.
Oh, been there, done that. Yeah. I've had a lot of new experiences like that.
Yeah, so
Sucks every time.
like one door closes, a window opens up. And you know what? God knows what's gonna happen. Maybe a month from now, she's gonna find out that I really am irresistible, or she's gonna run out of money, and things will change.
Well, let's hope she doesn't run out of money.
Well, she definitely will. That's not that's given, but whatever. Let's not talk about that. So, hey, any of you collect any precious metals, silver, gold?
I
I
collect
stack a
brass
little.
and lead.
Well, yeah, other than those.
That's
I've been
our precious.
stacking. Yeah.
That's our precious metals, Val.
Well, I've been stacking some silver.
I've been stacking a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've been stacking some silver. I just sold it because the price was right, and with all this going on, it's just heavy to hold on to and move. So I kept the gold. I got rid of silver. I got way more than I paid for it. I figure I can just wait. If it drops down, I can buy more. It wasn't a lot. I only had about $2,000 worth.
I got some of those Morgan silver dollars. Anybody knows what those things are worth?
Well, generally they're about $20 a piece. And if you find if you and then there's a whole numismatic value on it. You got to do if you take your year it was made and you Google it, you can find out the exact value on it. And a lot of times they might have, depending if there's like imperfections and whatnot, they might actually have like a collector's value.
Yeah, but then
But
there's also
rule of thumb, they're $20 a piece.
yeah, because I mean, you go to there's collectors, and then there's what they call junk silver, but it's 90% silver.
Yeah.
So, but that's good to hold on to, just some of it, a couple $1,000 worth. Because I'm looking at it from the whole prepper side, diversify items. So much in cash on hand, so much in silver on hand. How about enough food to feed yourself and your wife, or whoever you got in the house for a certain amount of time, and throw in the garden.
And keep killing deer.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's. Do you guys watch that show Last of Us on HBO? It's the show is based on actually PlayStation game. So basically, there's this like a virus going on that turns in people into like not a full blown zombies, but similar thing, right? And the show is, you gotta watch it. But basically, the first part is when it happens and the outbreak, and the guy loses his daughter, and then next part is basically 25 years later, how people surviving, how they're living in the quarantine zones, and how they're doing. It's a pretty cool show, actually. I suggest you watch it. Now, question is like, okay, you're talking about the preppers and all that. Like, really, how many of you really want to live in a this post apocalyptic thing where you got to fight for everything?
Hey, our ancestors did it when they moved out west.
It was a little bit different. It's different because they were building the future. It was the kind of starting from the scratch. Nowadays, it's a lot harder because less and less people actually have a tradable skills. Less and less younger people have skills that can use to, let's say, rebuild society.
Oh, I can't wait a minute. My Xbox skills won't matter.
Pretty much, your TikTok skills won't matter either. So
then you got Allen, like his what was that? What was that their channel or whatever you did, Allen? That dating channel. Tinder famous or something. No, because just taking care of a garden, all the entire time that's in there, you just got to keep on top of that thing every day.
Well, that was one of the parts of the show, right? Where this guy, and obviously they turned it into gay shit, but whatever. This guy, he was a conspiracy theorist, basically. So when this whole thing was going on with the virus, he had a bunker built in his basement. So when the National Guards came and evacuated everybody, he was in like a small gated community. When they all left, he had cameras everywhere. He came out. He went. He collected everything he could, all the gas, all the propane. Build a fence around, put a like electric thing, put booby traps and shit and everywhere. And then he basically met another guy. that was looking for a way somewhere and fell in one of his traps, and he helped him out, and blah blah blah. He became friends, and lovers, whole Brokeback Mountain shit. But basically, same thing. 25 years they lived there like that, but they were just by themselves. So is it living or is it just surviving?
Now you can live. It all depends on how much pre-work you put into it, as far as your
understand
networking.
that if 25 years later you're still pretty much just living off the supplies, scavenge and whatnot, are you living or you surviving?
Yeah, I'd be living
You know,
because I mean my supplies are only for the short term. Living is producing my own food. And
Sustainability.
yes, it's the whole sustainability thing. If you know how to make the antibiotic out of silver, I mean that's one thing as far as medical, but it's on how well you network with other people. It's get in with these people that's in the same mind frame. So
Well, currently you can get a 1 ounce silver 45 caliber bullet, 99.9 fine silver for $47. Considering that a troy ounce right now is going for 24.21, that's not really that great of a deal. But you can buy silver bullets.
yeah, but you're paying extra money because it's a silver bullet. I have one of those, and you can buy them cheaper. If you look on eBay, you can find them cheaper.
if you run into vampires,
And it
or is
does
that
fit,
werewolves?
and it does fit in the chamber of the 45 gun. Don't ask me how I know. I just don't know what the bullet is now.
Yeah, and tobacco. That's something you can only do that down south. It don't grow. There's a certain limit on where tobacco will grow, isn't there? Kyle said he needs.
Grows in Connecticut.
Does it?
Yeah. Some of the best broadleaf wrappers on all the handmade custom cigars are from Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't grow over here because my friend's grandfather was growing tobacco in Slovakia, and it's the same, what longitude, latitude, whatever the hell.
Yeah. Maybe it's because the people around here grow marijuana instead of tobacco.
Wow.
There's two cities in North Carolina called Winston Salem. Wonder where that got their name.
Well, and it's kind of odd that you can actually get marijuana seeds easier than you can tobacco seeds, in my opinion. I would absolutely love to have some heirloom tobacco seeds hanging around. Not only because I'm a connoisseur, but that it would be an absolutely phenomenal trading commodity if needed. It just, why not?
So what's the one thing you would not trade?
What is one thing you would not trade?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if that answer if there could be an answer to that, because everything is going to have value to you at some point. If you're going to want something bad enough, you're going to trade almost anything. The one thing that I would not trade is the sanctity of my ass. Oh, yeah.
Nah. The one thing I would not trade is the ammo. I would never trade my ammo because there's a good chance to come back a lot faster.
What if it's your neighbor who you're relying on for a little security?
Well, that's a different story. You're not trading, you're sharing. So I'm not talking about that. Let's say I'm talking about trading. You're trading with the strangers or whatever. Some people, if you like community within, I don't consider that trading. I consider that sharing. Because if you have a little community and okay, so you share bullets, he shares his eggs, You know, not the neighbor shares his daughter. I get that.
Dang, Val.
Well, and I've said it before. I've got lots of inexpensive whiskey that I keep around, and it's literally just as a trading commodity. That sooner or later, if it's needed, somebody's going to want that. And if they're going to trade me some medical supplies, if they're going to trade me weapons, ammo, food, things that are going to be essential to life, then yeah, I'm going to I'll trade off my whiskey.
Trade some whiskey for a chicken.
A lot of your seed out there right now is genetically modified, and it's not going here from the seed that you get it. And if you're looking at planting stuff the next year, a lot of that stuff is not going to grow. All the wheat in the U.S. is like that. Your corn in the U.S. is like that. But I've got a nice bank that I've been growing for a couple years. It started out from a half ear of corn of heirloom corn. It's heirloom white corn.
Well, all you need is a couple of potatoes, and you can grow them anywhere. The guy grew them on Mars.
No,
Out
I've
of,
got
out of his own shit.
potatoes is a main staple here. Potatoes and venison.
And since you got potatoes, you can make vodka.
And now I also have sweet potatoes. Those are, oh my gosh, you could make patches of sweet potatoes, hidden patches out here and there, spread around. You don't necessarily got to have that growing in your garden.
You can keep those. I gotta be really hungry to eat those.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't like yams?
I don't know, never liked them. The sweet potatoes and the cornbread, two things that never kind of clicked.
Oh,
Hell, Fuzzy, I'd do that today.
Yeah, Fuzzy, he'd even lose a virginity in his ass for a couple thousand primers.
Hey, Alan, the Fin, Feather, and Fur by me, they actually lifted all of their limitations on their primers. And they had shelf full of everything.
At what price?
oh.
$100 a thousand.
Yeah,
Well, they had CCI a brick for 70 bucks.
Nah, this
You
Fin
can find
Feather,
you can
they
find
were,
those
they
Gen
were
X primers.
98.
You can find the
It
Gen
says-
X primers for less than that.
The CCI primer deal is supposed to be going through June. And that comes through CCI because CCI dropped their price big time. When I talked to Vern and the guys down there, they're hoping that the other manufacturers will follow suit on the prices.
I don't think I don't think the raise in price is manufacturers. I sincerely believe that's not the truth, because it's the same thing like when after the Sandy Hook shooting and all the laws came over here and prices of the ammo skyrocketed, and I was watching the guy at the freaking store repricing his ammo that he had on the shelf, literally double the price. So it's the same. It was the same with the primers. They just knew it's going to be shortage. Whoever had it held on to them and just sold them at premium, and they kept selling them.
Well, Val, I'll tell you this. I have been shown an invoice at my shop, and he is a wholesale buyer. And he makes, if he's lucky, a penny a primer in resale.
From whom?
Over what it cost him to get it in, to get primers in.
No, I get it, but he's buying them directly from the factory.
He's buying 1 million at a time. He's buying a pallets.
I understand, but is he buying million primers straight from Federal or CCI or Gen X, or is he buying them from somebody who imports that shit in?
Well, it has to be imported. He can't order it directly from.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So it has to be imported. But
well, I got a bad feeling. I might be wrong, but I got a bad feeling that a lot of importers, since the local guys couldn't, the U.S. made primers couldn't catch up with whatever there was, they were just freaking, because the Ginex primers are made in Slovenia. That's a former Yugoslavia. So, I'm not saying I'm an expert on the area, but I know a bit. So, I know how people think. I know how much money people make there.
well, somebody he knows went directly to the manufacturer. He didn't do it. It's another buddy of his that is in the same game he is. Ordered so many millions of primers from some manufacturer, and they never showed. Everything disappeared on the other side. No more contact. So you can't risk doing that. I mean, you can't put out, for
No, I understand.
$500,000 on primers, ordering them from overseas and then never seeing them and all the information going away.
I understand that. I get it. Plus, you have to go through the importer and all that. I'm just saying, like, if there would be a way to actually negotiate a price directly through the factory and then just pay percentage on top of it to the importer, things might be different.
Yeah.
And same goes for any local CCI, federal primers, and all that. Federal doesn't care about primers, selling the primers itself. That's not their main bread and butter. So whatever they make extra, they sell us, and they don't care how much the guy is selling it to you. I mean, I'm sure the factories increase their prices as well, but I can't see all of a sudden, a primer that they used to produce that, let's say, their cost was $2 for 100, out of the blue being $6 for 100.
I believe the prices went up partly because of the price of the raw materials. I do believe that a little bit. I believe a lot of it's from them increasing the price of transportation as well. But a primer that used to cost me 3 cents now costs me a dime or more. That's what, 200% inflation, 300%.
Yeah, that's got to be more than that, not just the actual price of the materials, because the labor didn't change. The factory is still, still there. They still, the process didn't change, and not to mention that we're talking all this shit happened almost overnight, within a couple of months. This is not like steady increase from year to year to year. This was like really overnight.
It's like they were there. They were $33 to $36 a brick. Then they were gone.
Yep.
When they came back, well, they still hadn't came back, but we're starting to see some spurts of it now, and they're 3 times the price.
And people are willing to pay. It's just you looked at the Gumbrooker, some of the stuff people are willing to bid up on the primers was ridiculous when there was a major shortage.
Well, and even myself, I felt lucky to come across a sale at Natchez for $72 a box.
Yeah, that's a good deal right now.
Yeah, $72. That's actually decent. I believe that's going to be the new normal. Anything less than $80 is going to be a good deal. That's pretty much where we're going to be at now. But also don't forget that over the last 2 years, the dollar also lost a ton of value. Look at your grocery bill, look at your electric bill, look at the gas, look at anything you want. Last 2-3 years, we just dollar went to shit. Not just the dollar, money in general, everywhere in the world. Everything is more expensive.
Yeah, we've all watched our bills go up. watched our grocery bill double itself.
I never went grocery shopping. Right? If I went to buy one or two things. I usually wind up getting a full freaking cart and spending $100 on snacks and shit. So situation I'm in now, I actually went grocery shopping and I didn't buy that much stuff. 2 bags full, and it was close to $200. I'm like, holy mother of God! I remember I came here in 1994. I went to ShopRite. If I spent $100, I couldn't carry the stuff home. I had a full freaking cart, full cart.
Yeah, $200 4 years ago was multiple buggies at the grocery store.
Yeah. Things sure have changed.
Dalkes, he doesn't understand. Okay, like it's actually when economy's in a shithole, it's good to be fat because by the time we fat people lose weight, skinny guys like him will be dead of starvation.
Why? He just goes out and munches on the grass. That's why he's skinny.
Yeah, that's why I put on an extra 35 pounds in the past 2.5 months. I see where the economy's going. My ass can live for a while off my own self. I don't need that much Burger King.
That's insane. Yeah, Tommy Boy's right. Aldi's is not even cheap anymore.
Nothing's cheap. If you think about it, how is this sustainable? Okay, so in 2000, let's see, my truck's 20. What year is it now? 23.
Mm-hmm.
So 22, 21. So in 2021, I sold my truck, right? I sold my 2017 Ram 1500, a Ram box, Bighorn edition. I sold it for $26,800. Okay. I bought that truck. I sold it with a 70,000 miles on it, and I bought it 2 years before. So I bought it in 2018 or so, something like that. Whatever. 2019. The truck had 17,000 miles, and I paid $27,000 for it. So I drove the truck for 2 years, put 53,000 miles on it, and sold it for the same money I paid for it. That was the only reason why I sold the truck and I bought a new truck before all the crazy hike increase and all that. So I still paid like a semi decent price for my 3,500 because I needed a bigger truck. And like how is that like when in a God's name do you have equity in your goddamn car? So the shit's not moving in the right direction when that happens.
Yeah, that's one of the general concepts of wealth building is that you don't invest money in depreciating assets. You drive the cheapest car that you can because the value is going to be going down. Well, that took a turn during COVID, as Val has testified. And I'm seeing guys driving these four-wheel drive Ford Ranch Edition trucks around, and those things got to be $100,000 now. And it's like, man, I can't believe
Yeah,
you
but
got.
one of the things that we're seeing in the auto market is a lot of lease returns with extremely low miles. And so that's beginning to flood the market a little bit, which is kind of awesome. You can get a 2-3-year-old vehicle with 16,000 miles because Joe Blow wasn't commuting back and forth to work. He was working at home the whole damn time and still making his lease payments. And this thing is in pristine condition with 16,000 miles on it.
That's how you buy a car anyway, man. You never buy a new car. You buy a brand new car, and as soon as you drive off the lot, you've lost 15%.
You got point there, but that's about a car. If you're buying a truck, especially if you're buying anything bigger than like a half-ton truck, three-quarter, one-ton truck, you can't even find them used. And if you do find them used, they beat the shit. Usually, people
Because
buy them new
people,
and drive them into the ground, so they're really hard to find. The cars, you're absolutely right. I was just shooting with a guy. He's a real estate agent, and he showed up in a Maserati. And like, holy mother of God, you're doing good. He goes, no, dude, this is 2018. With the 30,000 miles, car looked brand new. He bought it for 30 grand. That's a $120,000 car. That's how much they, But you know what? He can drive that car for a year or two and still sell it for 30 grand.
yeah, people are starting to look at not only what their vehicles are worth now, they're starting to get smart and start thinking about, particularly what you're talking about, Val, about trucks and stuff. They're starting to think about how much is it going to cost me to replace this if I do sell it.
Exactly, replacement value. It's not just what you can make on your truck. It's the replacement value. Because before I actually sold my truck and bought a new one, I was at the dealership and I was trying to work out a deal to trade my truck in, but they were not really giving me. They were actually giving me less money than the guy that was buying it, because I tried to figure out the tax difference. Because if you trade the truck in, you're only paying tax on the difference. So if but whatever they were giving me was less. It didn't work out, so it's like I just sold the truck to the guy. Not to mention, he showed up in my house with $100 bill.
Well, it's about that time, gents. About that time. Going to roll through the room here. Let everybody say their piece. Scotsman, did you want to say anything? No. Okay. Reloading from the hot pot. What you got coming up, man?
Oh, let's see. I put up a new video earlier. Got another one coming out tomorrow. Be kind of lax on making them. May make another one this week. May not. Never know. Working all these hours and trying to bank all this money in, man. About videos, just ain't got my time right now. But it's good to be here. Good to see everybody. Nice side chat going on tonight. Yep. That's about it.
All right. JH586.
Hope everybody had a good time hanging out with us tonight. Thank y'all for being here. Scotsman, thanks you for having me. And if anybody has not used a J. Dewey cleaning rod, I highly recommend them. Best money you can spend. Other than a Maglula, Uplula, or whatever that thing's called, that magazine loader, those things are great. Get yourself one of those too. Gene, come on, man. You know that's the best money you ever spent. Check it out nights at 8 o'clock on Georgia Shooting Connection channel. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks again, Scotsman.
Cool beans. Professional amateur, what you got coming up? Anything?
Yes, I do. I have a few things in works. Few things will drop off next week. Got a bunch of footage from the last 2 days of shooting. I'm gonna try to consolidate that into one match video and a sort of kind of gun review as well. And that's it. Keep gaining weight and eat salad just once in a while.
Daniel, what you got, man?
Well, I really haven't been putting out the content because right now, from what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing going on, I'm just getting shored up for the short and midterm as far as taking care of myself and family. And of course, I've already got long term stuff on sustainability. And you got money, spend it as you go. Don't save it up because someone else is going to end up with it. You earned it, you spend it. Thanks for having me on.
Right on, right on. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Scott's been having technical issues, and but it was glad to be able to come back on this week. Good to see everybody out there. Greatly appreciate it. I did actually have one in the can that I was going to start editing, but I lost the footage in editing. And if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in Arizona. Other than that, keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!